So, welcome again. Thank you. And also appreciate joining. Hammer the Delusion is this series. Look at different ways of the delusion. We think we are smarter than others. That is also a delusion. What I have to do, even if I say I'm smarter than you, what will happen? Nothing. Instead, I should base on the knowledge. I should have a clear understanding of the cause and effect in any particular event, particular situation, in relationship. Normally, parents and the kids, parents normally say, I have 50 years of experience. You should listen to me. And the children says, what you have studied at my age, you can complete the sentence. So we should keep our mind free from this kind of a delusion. Sometimes we judge someone's character based on their appearance. You see that beard, long beard, if it is little longer and a black without goggles, without glasses, I may look like Osama. Never judge anyone. Keep your mind free in your relationship, at home, in your professional life. Now I'm just pinpointing because these deluded thoughts and ideas causes lot of challenges, and it prevents us to awaken to the real self, believing you are entitled for a special treatment, isn't it? Sometimes it happens to us. Just remain casual in your approach towards the world, but extremely alert and aware about what is behind the body and the mind complex. That is the meaning of the mindfulness. Another delusion, we assume worst of others' intention. That is going to cause you lot of pain and the problems in your life. I can tell you, lot of pain. We start assuming, we imagine that others have a worst intention about ourselves. And that keeps our mind busy all the time. It begins the gossip, and gossip never ends. Another very important point is that living outside your financial means. Never do that. It will increase the Rajasic Guna that we discussed in the self inquiry, and it will keep you on your toes all the time. All the time. So, what happens? These examples that I have cited, which causes lot of delusions, and then you say, I'm not thinking like this, but I have unwanted and unwelcome thoughts in my life. Obviously, because you have a deluded perception, and out of the delusion, your mind is working. It will multiply and it will cause a lot of issues, a lot of challenges in your life. Unnecessary, unwanted challenge. Think of it. I'm not saying that I'm right, but if you contemplate and reflect, and you get rid of all these deluded thoughts, your mind is free. Normally we say, I have a lot of thoughts. How can I focus? You cannot focus unless you have a delusion. Understand this clearly. Any repetitive thought pertaining to the world outside, pertaining to the near and the dear ones, your kids, society, the world outside, is because of this delusion. You are 5 years old. How many thoughts you have? think, think. You don't have that delusion in your mind. We have to become like a 5-year-old kid. We have not too much to think. So last session, we understood delusion is a confusion about what is real and what is unreal. If I move my mind with what is false, it will definitely cause suffering, not today, maybe after a few days, because your mind keeps on thinking about it and gathers those impressions. And then you blame that, I have unwanted thoughts. Delusion makes us see happiness in outer things like objects, people, events. If I remember, happiness is within. And then ask the mind to follow this thought. And then see how many unwanted thoughts you have. No, no, I'm sorry, I cannot make you happy. I cannot make you unhappy all the time. Very clear. And then I try to rationalize, and then I go on a delusion spree. Problem, our master says that problem, confusion, anxiety, frustration, laziness has an element of delusion in your life. What appears true is not true. And then what happens? The mind claims and decides and declares, I am worthy of suffering because of that delusion. We are not worthy of the delusion. We are not worthy of the suffering. We are not worthy of the delusion. You all are seekers, and this is going to be a very important series. So, removing the delusion. I'm still laying the foundation of this text. It's such a wonderful text. Just by laughing and smiling, you listen to it and you understand the delusion, you get rid of it. It's just a play and fun. Every verse, it is just a poem. Another cause of this delusion is that we have we have we have assumption. I meet you, and your expression is different. Mind begins the assumption. Mind instantly starts this assumption, and it begins the assumption not only meeting the person. You wake up in the morning and you see it's a clouded, the sky is clouded. One woman in New Jersey and I met, don't you see, it's weather is so bad, it's clouded, it, it gives me depression. What the cloud has to give you the depression? I have an assumption. Instantly, can I wake up? Can I change? Every day, mostly 5 days, in 5 days when I meet people, they have different assumptions. And it is because of the assumptions, 99% of the divorce takes place. Think of it. I assume you behave like this. And then it strengthens from one assumption to the another and the third and the fourth. I already told you about Osama bin. We carry forward those assumptions, we rationalize. From one delusion, we live into the another delusion. Can you quantify your happiness if you have $5,000 or 5 million? Do you have 5 grams of happiness if you have $5,000 or you have 5 kilograms of happiness if you have $5 million. You have to hammer your mind again and again. I am not saying don't earn. Pay attention to it. No master says, don't go for it. Master says we quantify. That quantification is delusion. Did you get it? Quantification is, if I marry Miss Universe, I will be, add many sentences. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. No, at least, first impression should be good. And if the first impression is based on your assumption, you will definitely be defeated. You go for an interview with the first impression, you have bought a suit and the tie, but you are not able to deliver what they are asking. What will happen to your first impression? No, I'm not saying don't do it, but don't quantify. Don't give 99% of the weightage on the outer objects and events and the things, but pay attention to the quality of the mind, and you are free. What is that known as? That is known as non-attachment. So to get rid of that delusion, first you can say the non-attachment, meditation is the second, self-inquiry is the third, and continue to gain the knowledge by listening and learning at the subtler level until the delusion is gone completely. Complete end of delusion is known as awakening. Why? You see the things as it is. You have any problem? You see the sky as it is. Tell me. But now you see me and I have a long beard, and maybe 10 years ago you had a very maybe you had a very what the word I want to use, you have a very reactive encounter with someone who also has a beard, and the assumption mixes together. Okay, now I have to be careful about this beard guy. It even returns after 10 years. I can tell you. Delusion. We have this master pays too much of attention, but he made it like a singing, a poem. That is what we are going to learn. Bhaj Govindam. The text name, another name of the text is known as the Bhaj Govindam. We will understand the word Bhaj, and also we will understand the word Govindam. So we have a poem in stanzas, maybe first 3 and 4 lines. We have a hammering on the delusion, and the last line says Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam. Can I simply translate? Remember, recall, and relive the real self. That is another one meaning of the Bhaj Govindam. When you have to remember, when you have to recall, here and now. When you are surrounded by anxiety, duality, and a conflict. Are you getting it? For that, you need to be a seeker. Otherwise, non-seeker can't remember. Non-seeker dig deep inside. You are responsible for my stress. They return again and again. But now you all are seekers, we have to go at a subtler level. In times of stress, in times of suffering, in times of frustration, in times of the pain. Bhaj Govinda means it reminds me that I am not worthy of suffering. So the chain of the thought stops. Simply the chain of thought stops. Someone says you are crazy, the chain of thought stops there. You know what we say, the buck stops there. You instantly become aware. Oh, I'm more crazy than you think. Come on. You take it so easily. But if you fight with it, you have already proved that you are crazy. You have proved. We need that extraordinary awareness. Delusion versus extraordinary awareness. That extraordinary awareness is the meaning of Bhajagovindam. We'll go into the etymological meaning. So Bhajagovindam, we normally chant Bhajagovindam means remember, recall, relive. We have already understood what to relive. We have already understood our nature is real self. It is of the nature of peace and happiness. So instead, the mind continue the journey of the chain of the thoughts of the delusion. I said, let me give a break. We normally say, give me a space. No? Give me a space, please. And remember, Bhajagovindam. So you see the entire spectrum of the delusion. You recall that assumptions that you have made and you drop it. You are ready to think, speak, and act rightly in a higher state of the consciousness. Bhaj really means serving. It also means there is another meaning of service. What is that meaning? I have discussed in self inquiry that instead of the mindset of a consumer, I become a contributor. You wake up in the morning, you are a contributor, the 90% of the delusion is gone. How you become a contributor? By connecting, by contributing, by being grateful. By being grateful. That is one meaning of the bhaj. Bhaj also means that you have to melt your false I that is the cause of all the delusion. When you melt your false I, you don't entertain it. That is also the meaning. Bhaj also means you are maintaining an emotional poise all the time. You are not affected by the outer situation, whether it's the pain or the pleasure, victory or the defeat, profit and the loss. Because these are my assumptions. Do you see that? My assumption is that it is a profit and loss is assumption. Pain and the pleasure is assumption. You are paying attention every day for 20 days. On the 21st day, you don't pay attention. My assumption is you are ignoring me. So I don't give you credit for 20 days. You have been paying attention to me. And only one day, one single event, you might be busy in something else. And then it causes the delusion. I have one mother, I have left all the hopes from my kids, and I'm very happy if they are not coming to me, they are not talking to me. You are already creating an assumption and you are already in delusion. I asked her, did any of your son said you something like this? No, they did not say, but it means that. Are you getting it? It means that. And I know in the same session, I would say a couple of weeks before, they have an assumption that I'm pointing to him and her. What can I do? You're living in a delusion. Mind has to be free to reach to the highest state of mindfulness. That is the meaning of bhaj. And bhaj also means I'm grateful. Today you helped me to live. I'm alive today. I'm able to communicate. Able to live in this world. And Govindam, now understand another meaning of the Govindam. Bhaj we have understood. Govindam. Literally, the Govinda means the originator of yoga as a human personality, a demigod, you can say, demigod. But now pay attention. That is the beauty of these masters. They have chosen the word Govindam. The another meaning is that your sense organs in the mind is working under you, under the intellect. That is the another meaning of the Govinda. Whether you say Bhaj Govindam, I am singing in the glory of that Govinda or Krishna. That is one way. It is the same meaning when you say that now this intellect and the knowledge rules over the mind and the sense organ before it thinks and speaks and acts. On the assumption, my knowledge inside, my awareness. What is knowledge? Knowledge is awareness. That awareness rules over the mind and the sense organ. So you get rid of the delusion. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. So you see, our masters have chosen these words for that fits to every type, every people having different temperament. You want to worship God, so take the word Govinda as a God. You are an intellectual, you understand it. Take this knowledge, intellect knowledge and understanding rules over the mind. Otherwise, intellectual fantasy, emotional dependence, assumption, and we are done. I believe you all are getting it. Bhaj Govindam. That is the text. But the first name of this book was Hammer the Delusion, Moha Mudgar. But later on, because every stanza ends with the Bhaj Govindam, so they said it is better to say this text is Bhaj Govindam. The first stanza has yet to come. We have to understand. Because I'm laying a foundation so that you may become clear, otherwise, your mind should not react at all. I believe it will not, but somehow if it reacts, then what I can do? So that's why I'm laying a foundation of this. Whenever you have a sense of anxiety, duality, and a conflict, is my intellect ready to ask, is this real? That is the meaning of Govinda. Means that Govinda is with me. That is the meaning. Is Govinda is with me. Or whether you say Govinda is a demigod, or you say the Govinda, oh, is the knowledge is with me, is awareness is with me. Am I aware what I'm doing? So when we chant, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. So internally, that mind lives into that awareness, guided by the knowledge, guided by the intellect, not the other way. The mind is not dictating over the intellect. If it is dictating over the intellect, we will have to suffer. It's 100% clear that we have to suffer. Why? The mind is impulsive. It is habitual. It follows the assumptions. It does not allow the intellect to see the cause and effect. Maybe a couple of you are talking to one another and looking at me, and I see, oh, they might be criticizing me. And then you all approach to me and you say, here is a gift for you. What happens to my assumption? What happens? I don't quantify my pain and the pleasure. I don't quantify my profit and loss. I don't quantify my victory and defeat. I gave an example 5 grams of happiness. If I have $5,000 and 5 kilograms of happiness, if I have $5 million. Does it make a sense? But I make a sense because the mind lives in delusion. So we have to hammer this delusion. Very important, there is a very thin gap between the state of a delusion and the state of awareness. Very thin, you can say I cannot measure it. You are aware the delusion is gone. You continue to live in delusion, that is a lack of awareness. So somehow you remember Bhaj Govindam and you return back. That is why this singing is there. Hammer the delusion. Obviously, we have in the beginning, we have to investigate, we have to analyze, we have to go for the cause and effect relationship. Anytime when you are in anxiety, duality, conflict. My master, I have already shown you the picture, 6 feet 5 inches, overweight, and when he used to give a talk for 5 hours, he never used to move from his position. 5 hours with that heavy weight. Body used to become totally stiff, not affected by it. It is possible. Because the because of the delusion, ego is not identifying with the body. I have to explore, I have to understand this. Keep exploring. Don't accept your anxiety, duality, conflict, and delusion, or any issue that is negative in your life. Don't accept before you investigate. Oh, it's a long journey. You have told a lot of principles. No, only one principle, Bhaj Govindam. Only one principle, Bhaj Govindam. Out of emotion, oh, Bhaj Govindam. I'm adoring. Even you can say I'm worshipping the real self that is seated in me. That is another meaning. Don't believe in any God. No need. I told you to recall, to remember, to relive in that real self. You had a particular thought, you went into anxiety. What happened just before a minute? That thought erupted in your mind. You were already calm. Do you see that? You are calm and relaxed, and suddenly I meet you and I say something to you, and your mind is deluded, and the mind has an emotional dependence and it reacted. Your peace is gone. Can you say Bhaj Govindam at that moment? Can you say that? And you see the life changes. When you say I'm fully busy, you are responsible for the delusion. You're fully busy. Can you stretch 24 hours to 48 hours? Why you are fully busy? We carry the burden, unnecessary burden. No, you don't know. I'm so busy. Become Bill Gates if you are fully busy. Are you getting it? We have created a pattern, a new normal in the modern lifestyle. And those phrases causes a lot of delusion that we don't notice. I have one student, is very intelligent. He made millions. As he said to me, I believe everything, whatever he said. Couple of months he divorced. His daughter was learning from me. Couple of years. So one day, perhaps, he called me. So we had a session and he told me that I started thinking that why I divorced with the women I lived for more than 25 years. And I want to explore that. I said, you are a seeker. Because if you start thinking in that way, it gives you a point of understanding. Normally, what happens in these relationship challenges that you simply say the other is wrong. But if I'm intelligent, one thing, pay attention to it. I'm intelligent because I earned a lot of millions of dollars, but I'm not intelligent to live in peace, for which you have to come to Eastern wisdom. Are you clear? He said, I'm clear. And I tell you, he paid the money. And every week he has one or the other excuse. It is because of your ego. Because my intelligence hooks me. No, no, I'm so intelligent. Every day these things happens. And every time, no, today, I have to attend the meeting in the school of my kids. I'm sorry I cannot attend. Don't you remember that you have an agenda set for today? Well, can you not fix the time at the next date? You don't answer me. So I don't go for American marketing. I don't push anyone. You come, it's good. You don't come, that's also good. Because if I push anyone, I am first enter into the delusion before I push anyone. It's a challenging, I know, but it's okay. It's a part of the life. Close your eyes and let us start our journey. Eyes are closed and you all are seekers, you are comfortable and you are carefree. Can you remind the mind through your intellect what it means by being comfortable? I want you to be the master first of yourself. And when you are master to yourself, you are master. You are done. My master always said that I make masters, I don't make students. I always remember that. Being comfortable. So that state of being comfort is nothing but the state of awareness where the intellect takes over the mind. Same thing with being carefree. Unwanted thoughts are entering into your mind, and you say, continue. You say to the mind, continue, my friend. You may have millions of unwanted thoughts and feeling. I am not caring it. You are separate from me. You see, you are treating the mind in a very gentle manner. And there comes Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. I believe you can recall, you can relive in the knowledge. What is that knowledge? Happiness is my essential nature. It is the essential nature of every object, everything in the world outside, and also mine. Then why I am suffering? You are losing the grip of that emotional dependence and the delusion. I can bet you, even if you think it helps you. But if you keep on doing it, you are regular and continue the journey, it helps. Sarvesham, Sarvesham, Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. This is also in a singing tone. So you trigger your emotion. Oh, may there be peace for all, for including me. Why? It is my essential nature. It is my intrinsic nature. What it means? What is the essential nature of a sugar? You cannot separate the sweetness of a sugar. I cannot separate the peace from myself, my being, my becoming. Yes, you can separate it. So my becoming is ruled by the mind, causes the delusion, and you are done. You see, I am giving another meaning to these mantras. Sarvesham, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all, wholeness in all, holiness in all. Lot of words. That sense of completeness, if the mind recognizes, located beyond the mind, that is mindfulness, transcending the mind. So what is beyond the mind? It is the real self. It is the pure consciousness. Consciousness cannot be divided. So hence a sense of completeness is there. So I recognize the mental consciousness which has an element of delusion. I believe you're getting it. Or if not, you can listen, you can understand. Repeat listening, I told you. Sarvesham, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham. May there be an auspiciousness for all. I have to extract auspiciousness in every moment, in every condition, in every relationship. I want to I want to fight with you. Yes, let me fight with you. But first let me extract the moment of auspiciousness. So I don't have an element of likes and dislikes and hatred. So what will happen? I'll fight you with knowledge, with an understanding. What does it mean? I cannot fight with you. I have created an auspicious moment in my life. So the master says in a different way, let there be an auspiciousness in our life, as if we are going to create it. No, we have to explore it in a particular situation, in a particular moment. And now we will go to the breathing as we have been doing. Plus, we have added one more part, that is the flow of the nostrils, as you know. So you already know, looking inside the forehead in the space, you start Om Shanti at an end with a poise and start breathing quick and short breath from the chest. And continue. Your mind says one day that I can do longer and share that experience with me. And if you all share your experiences that you can do longer than the 4 minutes, we can go for it. So you are enjoying that breathing with Om Shanti in the state of being comfortable and carefree. Just continue. And remember, my friends, that on a given day, sometimes the mind is not ready. The mind has lot of impressions of the delusion. They will come on the surface. So don't get upset. What is the key there? Endure it and push the mind. No, I will do it. This is going to take me to the peace. Mind, I know you are not ready. You say to it and then keep on, continue. Normally, that doesn't happen to a non-seeker, but we all are seekers now. It is possible. Someday it will definitely happen. Keep on, continue, quick and short breath. Continue Om Shanti. Keep on the pause with Om Shanti. Keep on with being comfortable and being carefree. One common factor, you are aware that you are a seeker and it is done. Continue. And stop it. Directly move there where the flow of the breath. Just pick up and check if the flow of the breath from one nostril is less. Pay attention there with simultaneous. Now I'm using the word simultaneous awareness of resistance, reaction. Simply accept. Be very clear that first two breathing steps we are doing it for 4 minutes, and the third we are still doing for 3 minutes. But at present, your attention, and normally we get a focus. So you are paying attention to the less flow of the nostril. And if you have equal flow, you will experience such a beautiful state. So this step has been taken from the Tantra. Awareness of the breath, you can say, taken from the Buddha. You see, I don't mess up, but I mix up these steps for a particular group to hasten the process of evolution. And now, looking inside the forehead, Om Shanti, and start belly breathing, expansion and contraction. It's a longer breath with an expansion and contraction. Om Shanti continues being comfortable and carefree continues. Can I hold on to that? It is a matter of awareness, nothing less, nothing more than that. And if that happens to you, you are enjoying breathing. At the same time, you remember you are doing the Om Shanti. The body doesn't move except the belly, and you have a expansion of awareness. You're aware of the world outside you, of your room, every article. What that it means? It enhances your awareness. That is known as the enhancement of awareness. Normally, we use the word enhancing awareness for false reasons. Continue. Continue. You already know we are doing it for 4 minutes. And before that, the mind has some resistance because of the delusion. You remind yourself, oh, it is because of the delusion. Everything is okay. Let me continue and see what happens. Our journey together is not based on preaching, it is based on rationality, clarity, practicality, pragmatism. That is the way of the Eastern wisdom is. But it takes time. We have to continue the journey. Continue long breath and the hissing breath only into the belly. Even though the rib cage moves a little, it's okay. But your intention is clear. And now stop it. Pay attention to the flow of the breath on each nostril. Alternatively, pay attention to the right and the left for a few seconds to discover if the flow of the breath is less on one nostril. Just pay attention there. Simultaneous awareness of the acceptance and no resistance or the changes that you are experiencing. And if the flow of the nostril is equal, or you will feel a kind of self absorption. So you are already getting a state of the self absorption in this step before we move to the next step. Do you see how I design these practices? But yes, it takes time. I have to open up slowly. Unless you have been enduring 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and now 4 minutes. See that. Knowledge is realized in stages, my friends. It's not a And now is the time to look inside the forehead. Om Shanti continues. Recheck. Body is comfortable. You are carefree. And now start breathing long, deep in the hissing, both from the belly and the rib cage. Expansion of the belly and the rib while inhaling and a contraction of the belly and the rib cage during exhaling. Long, deep breath. We are doing this breath. We have been doing it for 3 minutes because I can see that we find some challenges of this third type of breathing. Why? Just try to find out. I'll surely answer. And stop it. Return to the awareness of the flow of the nostril. Check it. Any flow which has a less flow of the air, I believe you understand what I'm saying. If it is any nostril has a less flow, pay attention there, continue. Or if you have a both flow are equal, so just keep your awareness there on the both the flow. I've already gave you an indication that I should not have given, that you will start feeling a tremendous sensation around the spine. The moment the breath goes in, and it's simply you feel as if it is going into the spine, reaching to the tailbone during the breath comes up. But you are not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Or some other visions and the experiences. That also takes place. And now look inside the cave of your heart, the triangle. Three-pointed awareness, move the mind on each side of a triangle. Om Shanti, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Once you find you're able to sync Om Shanti with the movement of the mind on a triangle, that is the right moment. You push the mind with singing Om mentally inside the triangle, going into the cave of your heart. Mind seemingly stops in Shanti. After that, you drop saying Om Shanti. Absorb. It's a kind of a self absorption. The mind breaks that self absorption. Return again on the triangle, sink it, do it again. So now you see that now you are the master of your own meditation practice. I'm just a pointer, a catalyst. You're already discovering that if the mind consciously withdraws inside, it creates a sense of motionless state of the body. It has nothing to do with the body as such. What is the delusion part of it? My body is stiff, I cannot sit for long. That is a very subtler level of a delusion. I can give you all those moments of that delusion. One part I just gave you. You know what you need to do mentally, and if it is supported by emotion, it's a great deal. Anytime the mind fluctuates, you simply move to the triangle sync, then go inside self absorption. Goal is clear. And now the japa Om Shanti on 16 segments, a reminder. It is the mind's eye, mind's tongue, mind's ear, mind's touch. For our four senses, four organs, sense organs are working through the mind by dropping Om Shanti. No worries. You may say Om, your mind may say Om very long to feel the touch, to hear, but you're not touching. Fact is that you're not touching. So sometimes people stay for a longer time saying Om Shanti. Even that is okay. Sometimes you just a trigger Om Shanti. All are okay. Everyone's mind is different. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both your palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. If you have any question, definitely you're most welcome. How are you, David and Jerry?
Very good. Thank you. Um, as always, I enjoyed the preamble or lecture, whatever we want to call it, the talk, and lots of takeaways. I'll look forward to re-listening to it on my way to the office here shortly. But the meditation was interesting. The breathing, you were talking about being 4, 4, and 3 minutes long, respectively. And I mean, after the first one, I thought it was 30 seconds long, and then the second one, less than that. And I don't even know, what did we start with? I can't remember what we started with. What was the length of that breathing, a year or two ago? Was it 1 minute or 2 minutes? I can't even remember, but whatever it was, it seemed faster than that. It was really weird. But a lot of indigo color going on. So very peaceful.
So you relate that you just said it was 30 seconds and you did for 4 minutes. So obviously you have transcended the mind, and that is why you have the indigo color. That is how we have to understand in the mind. And the third one was the 3 minutes. So we have started doing 4, 4, and 3 minutes. And when we lose the track of the time, obviously the mind is not carrying any delusion. You see, it's very clear. There is only a right perception. Beautiful. Beautiful sharing. Thank you. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. Similar, no resistance to the breathing. It was easy. And also the mind was very quiet and no distractions. I like the looking at how we played a part in things that don't work, not for like punishing ourselves, but for learning and evolving. Because if we don't, we continue to make the same.
Any thought, what she is saying, any thought enters into the mind, first Bhaj Govindam means I recall, I remember. So I see that thought, I analyze that thought, I become aware of the knowledge in that thought with reference to the Bhaj Govindam. What happens? If there is a delusion, it goes away. Beautiful. How are you, Brandy?
Morning. I'm good. My meditation was really relaxing and peaceful, absorbed today.
Very good. Very good. So maintain your awareness on any deluded thoughts and treat it the same way. How are you, Dennis?
I'm fine, thank you. And my takeaway from today's talk was that this phrase, Bhaj Govindam, is like a keyword that we must use to recall. It's a key to recalling the Eastern wisdom in the situations that we normally get carried away by our likes, dislikes, and things that habitual things that we usually do. And so all we need is to remember this two words, and from there we can start exploring what exactly we are feeling and how to relate Eastern wisdom to it, and how to think, speak, and act accordingly, rightly, in a right manner. Regarding the practice, it was very calm and deep. I can't recall any peculiarities or differences. It was just seamless. Yeah, the one thing that about the breathing is that it seemed like it seemed like it's a normal breathing to me. So when I started fast breathing, either of three steps, it felt like I can go on for as long as needed. Like I entered a mode of just a different mode of breathing that can keep going indefinitely, and it will cause no reaction, no objection. I can just live indefinitely in this mode of breathing.
No worries. We are going to do 6 minutes each breath. Not next week. And you have the similar experiences like the David. What is the most important thing? You wake up in the world, a thought creates a like and dislikes. Now, because of the likes and dislikes, there will be a chain of the thoughts. That is how our mind is trained. And it will gather the emotional dependence, and then intellectual fantasy comes. So, what is the break that you give? You give the break. That is what Dennis is saying. You remember, recall, relive. You relive. So, you have broken the entire process. And what it takes to break the entire process? You have to answer yourself. How are you, Barbara?
I'm very good, thank you. I had a similar experience to David and Dennis. The breathing today seemed effortless, and it just went so quickly. I mean, I just didn't think it was over when it was over, and
Yeah.
the rest of the meditation was just pure peace. So it was really wonderful.
Beautiful, beautiful. We are heading towards the next stage or advancing these practices. I love it. And how are you, Christina?
Thank you. Today I felt a very deep sense of peace and, like David, a lot of indigo color around me. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Only today you felt so much of peace for the first time? No, no, I'm just kidding. But this expression also helps us. That is what I wanted to convey. This expression also helps us because now the mind will be more interested in learning more and going deeper. Our masters have dwelled so deeply into this journey. How much I know, only 1% of it. And that is what I'm conveying to you. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. Sir, practice was calm, smooth, uh, very peaceful.
Very peaceful. Beautiful. That is beautiful. How are you, Shok? We don't hear you. That's a trick, our internet, the computer does, yeah.
Om Shanti, sir. I have no question, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. So, how are you, Sangeeta? Where is Sangeeta? Yes, here it is.
सर बहुत बहुत पीसफुल था सर जो एग्जम्पशन है तो वो कई बार काम करते हैं लाइक तो उसको कंट्रोल करना है
क्या बोले?
अज्यूम कर लेते हैं कि सामने वाला गलत है कई बार हो जाता है
Yes, what Sangeeta is saying that we always 99% we work through assumption. Your friend knocks the door and you enter, you hug it, and now Oh, my friend has already talked yesterday about some issue that is why I should make my mind crazy. Why? Why not keep the mind free? Let one say, and then we will face the situation, then we will say what needs to be said. And we don't do that. So whenever I meet you virtually on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, oh, another boring talk. No, you should be aware. You should be, you should maintain that. You see that? That causes, so there are many layers of assumptions supported by the false side, and that causes the problem. Then we are not able to live in freedom. One master says, pay attention this before we meet the next time. Master says, you have to choose one, freedom for the mind. Are you looking for freedom for the mind, freedom from the mind? Instead of Bhaj Govindam, you can say, what I'm looking for, freedom from the mind, freedom for the mind. There are many likes and dislikes. So I'm looking for freedom for the mind means I will strengthen my likes and dislikes. Are you getting it? But if I'm seeking freedom from the mind, I'm seeking freedom from the likes and dislikes. Are you getting it? American phrase, does it make a sense to you? No, it should not make a nonsense to you. It should make a sense to you. That is all for today. Thank you very much.
Namaste, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Sir, namaste.
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 Thank you.
Thank
I don't know from where this word has come. Does it make a sense to you? Anyhow, that's okay.